Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series.
Hey guys, it's Adam here, and as I'm sure a lot of you know, I recently took a trip out to Europe, and one of the things I did there was I went to Gamescom 2015. Now, I already did a video on that. That's like a whole experience video with tour footage, all that kind of great stuff. But Gamescom is a video game convention, in case you don't already know that. All the more reason to check out that other video. And at video game conventions like that, you inevitably walk away with a lot of freebies and merch and stuff that companies give away for promotional purposes. So I wanted to do a separate video and just show you guys all that stuff, because I thought, what the hell, that might be kind of fun. A couple of warnings though, there isn't a whole, like, this is it. Everything you see on the table is what I walked away with. Unlike other conventions where I've walked away with way more stuff. But in this case, because I was in Europe for 3 weeks, I just had like less luggage space, so I had to be a little bit more selective. Also, most of this stuff is Xbox centric, and the reason for that is that's where we spent most of our time because we had VIP access into a lot of Microsoft's events. That and Microsoft is notorious for giving away lots of freebies, so they're kind of a place to hang around at. So I'll start off with the things that were not Xbox centric, and then we'll move over to those. So before I do that though, a couple of shout outs I want to give. First is to a dude named Damianu. I don't remember the pronunciation exactly. He was a nice guy from Australia. He recognized me when I was at this little game store inside of Gamescom, which I did a separate video on that as well. So I just want to give a shout out to him for coming up and just saying, hey, I'm a fan from Australia. It's nice to meet you, etc., etc. So thank you, Damianu. And as I was leaving on the first day, a guy walked up to me. His name was Dave, and he just said, "Oh, hey, I just want to say thank you." He shook my hand. He's like, "I want to say thank you for making that Shenmue video about why Sony's not funding it, that whole thing." He's like, "We in the Shenmue community appreciated that, getting some of the facts out there. So thank you for that." And then he walked off. He was clearly in a rush, but he still wanted to stop and say that. So thank you to Dave, and thank you for watching. And finally, to a guy named Murdad. I really hope I'm not pronouncing your name incorrectly, but I believe that's how he said it, Murdad. I met him on the last day. He basically he walked up to me and started talking to me, and he handed me this, which is a little flyer for two things. I think it's his like gaming group, which you can check out if you want. It's facebook.com/UTGameClub. I'll put a link right here and in the description. He also handed me this other little pamphlet for a game I guess he's making called 7 Signs. So you can check that out as well. Facebook.com/7 Signs. Again, I'll put the link right there and in the description. Feel free to check it out. And thank you, Murdad, for coming up and talking to me. I genuinely appreciate that. If you see me at conventions, guys, feel free, come on up, talk to me. I might at first be like, oh, okay, because like I'm socially awkward, but I'll get over it. I like talking to people. It's just I'm never expecting it, but thank you. So moving beyond that, let's talk about other Gamescom stuff I got. First is my Gamescom like lanyard with the little badge and everything. Technically, I wasn't entitled to this. This wasn't like PAX or other conventions where they just give away lanyards in mass. There's so many people that go to Gamescom that they leave them for like press only, which I didn't technically qualify as. However, I was with my buddy Ronald, and through his company we technically qualified, so we got these, which was nice. So there you go, nice sweet lanyard to remember my time at Gamescom. 2K gave away stickers of their logo. Nothing super special there. Bethesda gave away stickers of Fallout Shelter. Says I downloaded Fallout Shelter. Probably the most random thing we got is my girlfriend and I are walking around, this woman in cosplay just comes up to us, says something in German, hands this to us and walks away. All it says is "in sync with victory." What it is a little screen wipe. You put it on your fingers and you just kind of wipe your screen down to get dust and stuff off. It advertises the new Forest FS2735 with cloud connectivity. Something to do with the cloud. Either way, it was a little free little screen wipe, so whatever. I went up to the retro section. Again, the retro section was awesome, and that's why I highly recommend, again, watching that video I did on the tour of the place. One of the things I got to do there was play Ghostblade, which is an upcoming Sega Dreamcast game by HughCast. And they had little advertisements for it right there. On the back, they advertised Redux 2. So they told me to take one, so of course I did. And I was happy to, because I like collecting these little things. They're basically like big cards. They're cool. Now, so from here on out, it was all stuff that we got at Xbox's event. Now, there was 3 ways you could get stuff at Xbox's event. They had this big press conference type of area where my girlfriend and I were in the front of like every day, because we would just go right there, because we had the VIP access, which didn't really help us there, but we knew that a lot of free merch would be coming. So we just spent most of our time at Xbox. I'm sorry, but we did, because we knew they'd be giving away the best stuff, and we knew that we could get in anything we wanted to with really no waiting, so that was awesome. Now, one of the things they did there, I'm sorry, I deviated. There's 3 ways you can get merch, was what I was going to say. One of them was when you were at this little Xbox event like I was just talking about. One was anytime you completed an Xbox-specific event, they would give you something. And anytime, and then after that, you could get into what's called the MVP Lounge, which I'll give you the details about in a bit. Once you completed the MVP Lounge, you got even more stuff. So all of the rest of these things were required by one of those 3 different methods, and I'll explain as we go which ones were which. The least Xbox themed of all of these is this. It's basically a little screen wipe thing for a laptop. It's not like this one that's like, you know, just the size of your fingers. This is like a cloth that folds out. This is by Intel. Now, so the deal with this was that Intel had some presentation up on the Xbox stage. And they were giving away a bunch of stuff. They gave away a water bottle, they gave away a stuffed animal, they gave away sunglasses, and they gave this away. And it was just being thrown out into the crowd. Now my girlfriend's like, oh, I could really use a water bottle, so I was like, I'll make it happen. I basically just raised my hand and caught one. It was awesome. It was pretty much just happened like that. It was pretty cool. Yeah, so I managed, it was luck. I got her a water bottle. And then through that same method, I ended up catching a stuffed animal. I ended up getting sunglasses. I gave her the stuffed animal because I had no real use for it. It was like a spaceman type of thing. And I gave her the sunglasses because I thought you should just have the whole set. I would have given her this, but like totally forgot I even had it. So I guess I have it. So there's that. Over here, this was thrown out into the crowd. This is a little bandana for the game Gigantic. Which you guys might remember the video of at E3, although obviously I guess you could look it up now. I'm sure there was footage of it at Gamescom as well because it was playable there. I didn't get to play it though. The reason for that was that they had a booth set up for it, and one day there was a guy who was playing it and his chair broke and he fell and he like really hurt himself, and they just kind of closed the area off for a while. So I never ended up going back there and getting to play it, but nevertheless I still got the bandana, which they were just throwing out into the crowd. Now the most common item was this. They got Xbox sunglasses. So they're just, you know, regular sunglasses here with green on the back, and it just says Xbox on it. I have 4 pairs now, which obviously seems excessive. At one point I had like 15 of them. Because, again, I was in the front row, and so, you know, sometimes we could catch them, no problem. People would also, the people who were giving stuff away, would just walk up and hand them to us because they saw us there all day, so they just figured we must be super fans. They would also, you know, because every once in a while they would take like these things and just throw them in the air, which inevitably doesn't go very far, so they just kind of land on you. Other times they would just go up and be like, I'm gonna make it rain! And they just drop them like that on top of us. And don't feel bad about me dropping those. Trust me, they did that in mass. These can take it. But yeah, they just dropped them on us, so we ended up with like 15 of them. I didn't need them, obviously. So what I did was, I turned around and I saw a bunch of kids who didn't have any. I gave them, a bunch of these things. So we got rid of them mostly that way. I also, other methods, where I was staying at in Linz, there was, in Austria, where I got this sweet shirt that says, no kangaroos in Austria. In the place we were staying, there was like this little box where you could donate things for future travelers, and if previous travelers had donated anything, you could take it. Nobody donated anything that we could take, but we thought, what the hell, let's leave some sunglasses in there. So we got rid of a couple that way. When I got back home, I met up with my buddy, and I know his brother was a huge Xbox fan, so I gave him a pair of them. And at the time you're seeing this, I've already gone to Los Angeles for an event that Ubisoft brought me out to, and when I was there, I met up with a dude named Anthony Garcia, and I didn't know if he was an Xbox fan or not, but I thought he would enjoy a pair of sunglasses, and he seemed to like them, so I'm glad you got one of those, Anthony. And so now I'm just down to 4, plus my girlfriend has a few still, so whatever. But yeah, I'll probably give these away to someone else, some other friends or whatever. So point is, they gave away a lot of sunglasses at Gamescom, and I'm sure they gave away a lot of them at PAX. By the time you're seeing this, I've already gone to PAX Prime and come back from it. I know. I'm still getting caught up. I apologize, guys. So anyway, enough of that. Other merch we got was Quantum Break lanyards. I got a few of these. I had more. Again, I was giving them away to kids because this is one of those things where these were so common, they were just dropping them on you. and now I'm all the way down to 3 of them. I'm gonna give one of these away to my buddy Jason, and I don't know, keep one at least, and I don't know what I'll do with the other, but I'll figure it out. That's what I do. It's the name of the company. But yeah, now so back to this MVP booth thing. Let's talk about that. So what you would do is Microsoft had a bunch of Xbox events for different things, and when you would go to them and complete them, you would get a card. So I'll go through the various events here. We had one for Halo 5 Guardians, one for Quantum Break, one for Rise of the Tomb Raider, Fable Legends, Gigantic, Forza 6, Scalebound, and Rare Replay. Some of these games were playable, some were not. They were just like private video demonstrations of the developer playing the game, and only you could see it and they wouldn't allow you to film it, that kind of thing. But regardless of what it was, once you completed it, they'd give you this card. And once you had all 8 cards, you'd go up to Microsoft's little booth, and they would check your cards, they would, you know, punch a hole in them, and then they would give you this, the MVP card. And then you take this over to the MVP lounge, and they would let you in for an hour. And once you're inside, you have free food, free drinks, and all these games that are just openly playable. There's couches set up and everything. Very nice little environment. Again, if you want to see any of that, check out this Gamescom tour video. I've been plugging all this video, which was really cool. So inside of that event, they also gave away other free little bits of merch, one of which was this hat, which was very nice. They also gave away a bunch of pins. Now, in some events that I just referenced, when you would complete them, you would get a pin. For example, Rare Replay, you got this little Rare logo pin. Rise of the Tomb Raider, pin. Forza 6, pin. There were some events that they had pins, like Halo 5 Guardians had a pin, but they ran out of pins like day 1. So I never got one of those. But once you completed the MVP lounge, they gave you more pins, one of which was a black Xbox One controller, a white Xbox One controller, and a white Xbox One. Now the rarest pin is right here. This was not given away by those means. On the Xbox stage, they had a Q&A with the developer of Rise of the Tomb Raider, and if you asked a question, a woman dressed up in full Lara Croft cosplay would walk up to you and just hand you this. It's a little bag, it says Rise of the Tomb Raider, and inside there's a pewter pin like that, and on the back it says Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is really, really cool. These, I imagine, will probably be one of the rarer pieces of merch that came out of that whole thing. And now, on to the last little bits here. If you went to the Rare Replay booth, or if you just stood around the Xbox press event, you would inevitably walk away with these. Big foam hands. This one's for Battletoads, and this one's for Banjo-Kazooie. They smell like dog food. It's pretty gross. I was actually questioning not bringing them home with me. Not just because they smell, but also because they took up space. Ultimately, you see them, so I did make the decision to bring them here, but they have no real point other than to show you guys. Like, this is why I held on to them, was just to show you guys. So, there you go. There they are. Yeah. I'll figure out something to do with them. Now, they also gave a bunch of away gave away a bunch of Xbox bags. So they're basically little drawstring bags. You put stuff inside, obviously. I have 3 of them. At one point, I had like 10 of them. All right, again, I was giving them away to kids. I was giving them away to friends. You know, like, and I'm all the way down to 3 at this point, which is, yeah, I live with 3. I don't know if I even need 3 of these things, but I'll figure something out. But nevertheless, very cool to get a bunch of bags like that. And now, my favorite thing, if you guys know from my PAX Prime stuff last year, my favorite thing is free t-shirts. Free t-shirts are the best. So I'll show you the shirts that I got. This is a red one, obviously, from Motiga, which is the guys who made Gigantic, which this game is for, which is cool. My girlfriend got one for Fable Legends, I believe, but I did not, which is fine, because they only had smaller size ones for that, and I wouldn't fit. I got one for Scalebound, right there. Scalebound logo on the front, and then the name on the back. And finally, we got this white one, it's still in the bag, which I'm going to open it up right now for you guys. And inside it is obviously a white t-shirt. Surprise! Yeah, just says Quantum Break. It's cool, right there. My buddy Ronald, who I was with, he got a couple of these, and he got them signed by the developer, which I thought about doing. I ended up with extras of these too, but I gave them away to kids and stuff because I was like, I don't need them. So that was cool. But yeah, if you want to see more of these type of pickups, my girlfriend, no doubt, has done a video like that as well. You can check out her new gaming channel and everything, see her merch, see more of the Gamescom footage, see what our trip was like in Europe, etc., etc. or just see her talk about games. I don't know, up to you. But yeah, that's really it, guys. I just wanted to give you a sense of what you could have walked away with at Gamescom, and I get the feeling I definitely could have got more stuff, more variety, but Gamescom is huge. Huge. Physically. Like, we covered maybe 25% of it in 3 days. Because there's just, physically it's massive, and the amount of human traffic, the amount of people walking around, the amount of time it takes to do anything is astronomical. Which is why we ended up spending so much time at the Xbox booth. 1, we became familiar with the area. 2, we knew they were giving stuff away. And 3, we had those VIP bands, which meant, oh, you can just cut the line at any event, which you gotta understand how much that just makes you prioritize a certain area, because it's just like, wow. That and Microsoft put up a big show this year. Like, they made Gamescom a huge priority. They put out a lot of stuff. There were certain things they were not allowed to show because of rules in Germany. Like, for example, they couldn't show anything from Gears of War that's coming up because in Germany they ban those type of games. I don't know the exact specifics. I'm sure there's a German out there who can comment and explain this in greater detail, but my understanding is if a game contains humans killing other humans, they can't have that. So they have to modify it so the humans are killing robots or something. You know what I'm saying? At least that's my understanding. So games like Gears of War Judgment, simply you can't air the footage there. So they didn't bother. Yeah, I don't know. So I had a good time at Gamescom. I really hope I get to do it again in the future. It was a lot of fun. Again, I want to say a huge shout out to my buddy Ronald, who really convinced me to go out there and hook me up with the tickets and everything to Gamescom. Thank you, dude. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all later.